Intuitive animal communication is something everyone can do. All of us humans are hardwired for intuitive animal communication. It's like we all have the same program on our computer, but some of us don't know how to turn that program on or how to run it once we do. So, if you're new to intuitive animal communication, it can seem mysterious and tricky and even hard or confusing. But in this episode of Animal Communication with Dr. Cara, I want to show you how simple it can be and how you can start practicing right away. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what intuitive animal communication is, how it works, and the 5 steps that you need to get started. And I'm going to share a resource that will help you practice these steps in less than 5 minutes a day. So, welcome to Animal Communication with Dr. Cara. This is a YouTube video channel as well as a podcast. And I'm Dr. Cara Gubbins, professional animal communicator and founder of the Animal Communicator Academy. My mission is to help all animal lovers become confident animal communicators so they can help their pets or become a professional or add animal communication to their current profession. My vision is to have animal communicators in every home, in every veterinarian's office, every animal rescue center, every shelter, every place that people and animals interact. I want to have an animal communicator there. So if you support this mission, then please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And that way you won't miss any episode and we can reach even more animal lovers and animal communicators. So let's start with what intuitive animal communication is. So this is the innate natural ability that we all have for non-physical exchange of information and messages between humans and animals, right? So animal communication, people and animals. It's nonverbal. It's based on energy. So there's an energetic exchange of thoughts, emotions, images, information between humans and animals. We're tapping into the energetic world that we live in. It's like we're floating around in a soup, an energy soup, and we can tap into that and use that as a vehicle for connection with other individuals. So, this is how it works. Animal communicators use intuition to tap into this energy field that they connect with the animal with. And then they use their intuition through this energy field to exchange information with animals. The information is received from or sent to animals in the form of images or sounds or words or emotions or physical sensations or direct knowing or tastes, any of our senses or smells. So you might know of these by their other names, which would be clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairgustance, I think is how you say it, and clairolfaction or clairalliance for the smells. So we all have our regular senses that I call like our outer senses, where we hear information from the outer world or see information. But we also have our inner senses, which are able to pick up on the much more subtle cues and information from the energy that we live in. So physical versus energetic, same thing, kind of. So what an animal communicator does is with intentional focus, they quiet their minds. And in that way, they prepare to align with their energy with the energy of the animal they want to communicate with. And then, with the utmost respect, they seek the animal's consent for communication. And they always honor the animal's willingness to engage or their reluctance to engage. And this is critical and crucial, both at the same time. Critical and crucial. because this sets the foundation for a respectful, ethical, honest interaction where everybody is honored. So it's really, really key. So once they have established that this is okay, let's go forward, then they merge their energy with the animal's energy, and they create an energetic shared space that is sacred. And oftentimes, many animal communicators focus on a deep heart connection. um, some don't. I tend to use that as the foundation of this basic love and universal spiritual essence that we share. That's how I approach this deep heart connection. Some animal communicators focus literally on heart to heart connection, just different techniques, same result. But in this shared sacred space, then the information and insights and feelings, all of that is exchanged via the intuitive senses. So, in a lot of ways, intuitive animal communication is a beautiful energetic dance of mutual understanding, openness, love, caring, concern, witnessing, and just clear communication. And I really think of intuitive animal communication as a reminder that when we share love and respect between animals and humans, it can lead to profound understanding. And that understanding not only deepens the connections between the individuals, but it expands our understanding of the world that we live in and everybody in it. So, why would you want to do intuitive animal communication? Well, here are some of the benefits. Number one, if you have animals in your family, you're going to understand your pet better. You're going to understand their perspective better. You're going to communicate more clearly. You're going to develop a deeper relationship with your pet. You're going to be able to partner with your pet and resolve challenges, develop peace and understanding and trust. Automatically you're going to decrease their anxiety, you're going to decrease the behavioral issues, and just day in, day out, you have more fun together. I know that's been my experience. So that's my introduction to what is intuitive animal communication. And I promised you 5 steps. So here are the 5 steps. Number one is grounding. So I do this literally with a grounding cord. Some people do this by relaxing or meditating or imagining roots or vines going into the ground. But what this is literally connecting our energy field to the earth. So we are literally connecting, we're grounding. When we don't do this, we're scattered and unfocused and unreceptive. We tend to overthink, our brains just go spinning. But when we do start with a grounding cord, then we turn our nervous system out of fight or flight. We have a strong, solid, even flowing energy about us, and we can focus, we can be calm and focused. Basically, we're shifting out of any stress, fight or flight, which is our sympathetic nervous system, into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest and receive mode. And so we want to be receptive. We want to be calm. Fight or flight is not calm. Parasympathetic is calm. So when we ground ourselves in whatever way is right for you, that's what you're doing. So you're creating the conditions inside yourself where you're going to be able to access your intuition. So I do have another video that walks you through this. I will put that link in the comments or the show notes. So if you want my guidance on how to do that and you want me to walk you through that, I'd be happy to do that. So I will share that link with you. So step number 2 is centering. And basically what centering means is quieting the mind. So you want to find a place of neutrality inside your head. I don't know of a more straightforward way to put it. When we don't have this ability to center ourselves, we're overthinking, we're going to be figuring things out, we're not going to be receptive. So we really need this centering step to find that place of neutrality, being calm, being open, being receptive. A lot of overlap between grounding and centering. So you can think of it like we're stacking this. We're having two different tools that have the same goal. And when we do that, we're amplifying our ability to be in parasympathetic mode, to be quiet and calm, receptive, and notice the subtle messages that we're getting within our inner senses. So one way to do this is to do what I call the 5 breaths. So 5 breaths, inhaling to a count of 5, exhaling to a count of 5, and do that 5 times. And that will center you in your body. It'll quiet your mind, it'll settle your body, and that will help reinforce this parasympathetic mode. Another way to do it is to imagine taking 5 breaths, breathing in and out through your heart. So just imagine your breath going into your heart center as you inhale, and imagine that loving energy radiating out in every direction as you exhale. Also will center you. So now that you're pretty calm, cool, and collected, you're grounded, you're centered, it's time to connect with the animal. And so what this step is really creating an energetic connection with the animal. When we don't do this, that means animal communication can be really hit or miss. And this is when we tend to overthink, to make things up, to figure things out, or we use physical cues like the animal's posture or facial expressions or behavior. But when you do this step, when you really do the energetic connection, then you're connecting in a way that is gentle, it's non-threatening, and it's enhancing and setting up the great conditions for intuitive exchange of information through intuitive communication. So we're just expanding on that base that we've created with grounding and centering. And the way to do this, one way to do this, there are many ways, but one way that I really think is great, especially for beginners, is to imagine your heart energy expanding out and expanding to fill up the space around you. And then imagine that energy from your heart expanding to encompass the animal that you want to communicate with. If you're there physically in the room, you can imagine that big ball of beautiful heart energy just getting bigger and bigger and filling the room and including you and the animal or the stall or wherever you are with the animal. If you are communicating with an animal who's not physically present, just imagine them there and imagine that ball of heart energy filling up you and them in front of you or wherever on your lap, wherever you want to imagine it. But have both of you be in this energetic field from your heart. It's to me the easiest way to get started. Which brings us to step 4. Now you're ready to communicate. And this step has an A and a B because communication is 2 ways. So I'm going to focus first on the asking, you communicating to the animal, but you might want to start the other way, just receiving. That's totally legit as well. So the part A for communicating is asking a question, right? Like being curious. So ideally, it's going to be an open-ended kind of question, especially when you're just starting out. It's just so much easier to start with an open-ended question, such as, how do you feel? And so that gives you a place to focus your awareness, and that's going to give you some clarity. If you don't have a question to ask, you kind of can wander. Your mind wanders, you get scattered, you can feel overwhelmed. So I always recommend starting with a focus, right? So it might be, health, it might be behavior, it might be food, it might be your favorite walk. Where do you like to go? Who's your favorite friend? So I really recommend that you choose one simple question and something that matters to you, not too high stakes, like do you want to, I don't know, move or whatever, but an open-ended, relevant question that's low stakes that you're genuinely curious about. So, how do you feel? What's your favorite food? Who's your favorite friend? Which way do you want to go? Do you want to stay or go? What do you want, right? Like just open-ended things. Do you want this treat or that treat? That's kind of specific. But I hope you get the idea. Like just, kind of like easy kinds of questions. And then the second part of step 4 is receiving. So once you've asked your question, now what I want you to do is monitor all of those inner senses, your intuitive senses. So your inner seeing, your inner hearing, your inner feeling, your inner sensations. So your emotions, your physical sensations, your hearing, your vision. And also claircognizance. Sometimes just direct knowing, your inner knowing just pops up and you just know something that you didn't know before. And it helps to focus on a specific question, and then it helps to focus through your inner senses. Again, if you're not kind of taking charge, your mind can wander and you might make things up. And this is, I think, one of the big challenges for beginning animal communication students is they feel like they're making things up. And a lot of times they are because they don't have this system in place. They're not following these steps because these steps lead you down a path where it's more likely that you're going to actually get an intuitive message or image or information from an animal. So, start by paying attention to one of your inner senses. And then, if you want, you can kind of just monitor or scan any of your intuitive senses. So, I'm very visual, so I would probably start with my inner vision and see if anything kind of comes up in my inner vision. Um, if you are more auditory, you might hear something. You might want to focus on hearing. If you're very empathic and physically sensitive, you might notice an emotion that comes up or a sensation in your body. Start there and then look at what are the other senses. Maybe information's coming through more than one sense. That often happens. So now you've done your setup, you've asked a question, hopefully you've received an impression or an answer. And then the fifth step is to complete. And so I call this step clear. And it's literally separating your energetic connection with your pet that you've created for the purpose of intuitive animal communication. We really need to have integrity in our energy fields. Each being needs its own sovereign energy field. Whenever we interact with anybody, our energy fields are connecting, and that's just natural. But if we stay connected after the interaction has passed or ended, that's unhealthy and that can suck our energy away from us. You've heard the term energy vampires, right? People who suck your energy. Well, you want to get in the practice of separating your energy. This does not mean that you're rejecting your pet or separating from them in any other way other than the the energy bubble that you created to enhance your intuitive communication with them, right? You still love them, you're still in family with them, you're still gonna, hold them on your lap or whatever it is. But we just want everybody's energy field to have its own integrity. So we create this communication bubble and then we uncreate it. People have so many problems with the words that I use, like destroy or dissolve or whatever. So I'm very sensitive to we'll create it and then we'll just uncreate it. So that way the energy doesn't get tangled. You don't stay connected in an unhealthy way. Everybody's happy and healthy when you do this. And I like to do it by thanking the animal for connecting and communicating with me. And then if you created that big bubble of heart energy that got bigger and bigger, just bring it back down. Just make it smaller again until it's just around you and your body alone. So those are the 5 steps. It's really that simple. Intuitive animal communication, though, it doesn't happen overnight. These 5 steps will get you started. It gives you a very solid, very um, precise plan for how you can start exploring this and trying it out and experimenting with it. And I have a Get Started with Animal Communication in 5 Minutes free training program on my website. So there's a guided video, and I'll walk you through this process. And there's a workbook so that you can record and track your practice sessions, which I highly, highly recommend. And I have other videos about why it's so important to write it down and keep track of when you practice, what the content was, how it went, how you felt, all of those things. And that's all on the worksheet. Because I really want you to have the best chance of being successful with this. And to me, this is just the simplest, most straightforward place to start, but it's also foundational and it's something that you can do over and over and over again. And you'll see that there's a cumulative effect that if you do 5 minutes a day for, a week or a month or whatever, you're gonna notice improvement. You're gonna notice shifts. So um, I have a link below for you to go to my website to sign up for that free training. And then I can be there with you every day, walking you through the process as you get more and more comfortable with intuitive animal communication. And if you've been struggling with learning animal communication for a while and you want to become a confident animal communicator, you want to have skills and accuracy and certainty and get rid of doubt and worry and second guessing, then I absolutely want to help you. I've trained hundreds of animal communicators all over the world, and I can teach you how to do this too. You can join me in the Animal Communicator Academy and become a confident animal communicator. So I hope that this was helpful as an introduction to what intuitive animal communication is, how to get started, and just a little bit of how do I want to say it? I don't know. Initial, just an exploration, just a confirmation that you can do this. And it really is this simple. It will take time to be really confident, and there's other skills, of course, that I teach in the academy. But this is a place to start and see what happens. It's magical. And I invite you to join me in the world of animal communicators. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.